Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discussing about Unit 5. Start with Unit 5. Already Unit 4 completed. In Unit 5, mining streams. Today we are going to discussing about mining streams and time series. Time series. First of all, what is stream data? Stream data are data that are massive, temporally ordered, fast changing, and potential infinite. That is called stream data. For example, telecommunication data is stream data. Transaction data from the retail industry and data from electronic power grids, all these are the examples to stream data. Coming to the second point, time series database. What is time series database? Time series database consists of sequence of values or events obtained over repeated measurements of time. For example, economic and sales forecasting, utility studies, and the observation of natural phenomena. All these are the examples for time series database. Next, third point, today we are not concentrate on this particular database. Sequence database. Third one is sequence database. Sequence database consists of sequences of ordered elements or events recorded with or without a concrete notation of time. This is a sequence database. First, we are going to discussing about mining data streams. So what is stream data? Means stream data follow in and out of a computer system continuously and with varying update rates. They are temporally ordered, fast changing, massive, and potentially infinite. Applications involving in stream data include telecommunications, financial markets, and satellite data processing. All these are depending upon stream data. First point, methodologies for stream data processing and stream data systems. So what are the methodologies for stream data processing and stream data systems? For effective processing of stream data, new data structures, techniques, and algorithms are needed. Synopsis allow for this by providing summarizes of the data, which typically can be used to return approximate answers to queries. Some common synopsis data structures and techniques are as follows: random sampling, sliding windows, histograms, multi-resolution methods, sketches. All these are the data structures or techniques. First, sliding windows. Instead of sampling the data stream randomly, use the sliding window model to analyze stream data. The sliding window model is useful for stocks or sensor networks where only recent events may be important. It also reduces memory requirements because only a small window of data is stored. Next, histograms. Histograms, this is a synopsis data structure that can be used to approximate the frequency distribution of an element values in a data stream. A histogram partitions the data into a set of continuous buckets. Multi-resolution methods. In order to deal with a large amount of data is through the use of data reduction methods. Popular data reduction methods are the use of divide and conquer strategies such as multi-resolution data structures. Sketches. Estimation of the frequency moments can be done by Synopsys e-sketches. Next point, data stream management systems. In a data stream management system, there may be multiple data streams. Those are in the following multiple data streams. So a stream data query processing architecture includes the following three parts: end user, query processor, and scratch space. Queries can be either one-time queries or continuous queries. So what is one-time query? What is continuous query? What is one-time query? One-time query is evaluated once over a point in time, snapshot of the data set with the answer returned to the user. Continuous query is evaluated continuously as data streams continue to arrive. Stream OLAP and stream data queues. This model allows data to be stored at multiple granularities of time. There are three models as title time frame on the time dimension, storing data only at some critical layers, and a third one is exploring efficient computation of a very particularly materialized data queue. First, register time at different levels of granularity. The most recent time is registered at the finest granularity. The more distant time is registered at a coarser granularity, and the level of coarseness depends on the application requirements and on how old the time point is from the current time. Time dimension model is called a title time frame. Means such a time dimension model is called a title time frame. Right. Natural title time frame model, as in the below diagram, if we observe, we have 4 quarters. This is the time frame window is structured in multiple granularities based on the natural or usual time scale. The most recent 4 quarters, 15 minutes followed by the last 24 hours, then followed by last means 31 days, and then 12 months. This is the natural title time frame model. Next, the second model is the logarithmic title time frame model as shown in the below diagram, where the time frame is structured in multiple granularities according to a logarithmic scale. So a logarithmic scale is a nonlinear scale used when there is a large range of quantities. Common uses including earthquake strength, sound loudness, and light intensity. The third method is the progressive logarithmic title time frame model, where snapshots are stored at differing levels of granularity depending on the regency. Frame numbers 0 to 5, as all of you observe, those are in the table. Frame number 0 to 5, snapshots by clock time 69, 67, 65. For one frame 66, 62, 58, means like that. That is the progressive logarithmic title frame model. Next, critical layers. This approach is compute and store only some mission critical cuboids of the full database. Minimal interest layer, observation layer. Partial metallization of the stream cube. It rolls up the cuboids from the minimal interest layers along the path and leaves up other layers to be computed only when needed. Frequent pattern mining in data streams. Frequent pattern mining finds a set of patterns that occur frequently in dataset, where a pattern can be set of items called an item set, subsequence, or a substructure. Algorithm that is used for frequent items is lossy counting algorithm. This algorithm finds the frequent patterns as minimum support threshold value S and error bound mentioned previously denoted as an epsilon. For example, say you are looking at the traffic for the Facebook profiles. You have billions of hits. You want to find which profile are accessed the most often. You could keep count for each profile, but you would have a very large number of counts to keep track of, the vast majority of which would be meaningless. With lossy counting, you periodically remove very low count elements from the table. The most frequently accessed profiles would almost never have low counts anyway, and if they did, they would not be likely to stay there for long. Classification of dynamic data structure. Classification is two-step processing consisting of learning and classification. The following are the different methods for classification of stream data are Hopping tree algorithm. This algorithm is decision tree learning method for stream data classification. It was initially used to track web click streams and construct model to prevent which web hosts and websites a user is likely to access. A very fast decision tree, VFDT. This algorithm makes several modifications to the Hopping tree algorithm to improve both speed and memory utilization. It works well on stream data and also compares extremely well to traditional classifiers in both speed and accuracy. This is concept adapting very fast decision tree algorithm, CVFDT. This algorithm uses sliding window approach. However, it does not construct a new model from scratch each time. Rather, it updates statistics at the nodes by incrementing the counts associated with new examples and decrementing the counts associated with old ones. Clustering evolving data streams. For effective clustering of stream data, several new methodologies have been developed as follows. Compute and store summarizes of fast data. Due to limited memory space and fast response requirements, compute summarizes of the previously seen data. Store the relevant results and use such summarizers to compute important statistics when required. Apply a divide and conquer strategy. Divide data streams into chunks based on order of arrival. Compute summarizes for these chunks and then merge the summarizers. In this way, larger models can be built out of smaller building blocks. So already you people know divide and conquer strategy in DAS subject also. Same like that we are applying divide and conquer strategy in data streams. Yes, incremental clustering of incoming data streams. Because stream data enter the system continuously and incrementally, the clusters derived must be incrementally refined. Explore multiple time granularity for the analysis of cluster evaluation. because the more recent data often play a different role from that of the remote older. So data in stream data analysis use a title time frame model to store snapshots of summarized data at different points in time. Divide stream clustering into online and offline process. While data are streaming in, basic summarizes of data snapshot should be computed, stored, and incrementally updated. A k-medoids-based stream clustering algorithm. Stream is a single pass, constant factor approximation algorithm that was developed for the k-medians problem. The k-medians problem is to cluster n data points into k clusters or groups such that some squared error SSQ between the points and the cluster center to which they are assigned is minimized. Clustering evolving data streams, CLU stream. CLU stream is an algorithm for the clustering of evolving data stream based on user-specified online clustering queries. It divides the clustering process into online and offline components. The online component computes and stores summarized statistics about the data stream using microclusters and performs incremental online computation and maintenance of the microclusters. The offline component does macro clustering and answers various user questions using the stored summary statistics, which are based on the title time frame model. Mining time series data. Time series database consists of sequence of values or events of time over repeated measurements of time. The values are measured at equal time intervals. Example, hourly, daily, weekly. Yes, time series databases are popular in many applications such as stock market analysis, economics, and sales forecasting, etc. Trend analysis. A time series involving a variable y representing, say, the daily closing price of a share in a stock market can be viewed as a function of the time t, that is y equal to f of t. This is the trend analysis. This is the time function. Time series data of the stock price of all electronics over time. The trend is shown with the dashed curve calculated by a moving average. All of you observe the diagram. This is the all electronic stock. This thick line indicates all electronic stock. Dotted line indicates 10-day moving average price. Trend analysis consists of the following four major components or movements for characterizing time series data. Trend are long-term movements. These indicate the general direction in which a time series graph is moving over a long interval of time. This movement is displayed by a trend curve or trend line. For example, the trend curve of above figure is indicated by a dashed curve. Cyclic movements are cyclic variations. These refer to the cycles, that is, the long-term oscillations about a trend line or curve, which may or may not be periodic. Seasonal movements are seasonal variations. These are systematic or calendar related. Examples include events that recur annually, such as the sudden increase in sales of chocolates and flowers before Valentine's Day, or of depend store items before Christmas. Irregular or random movements. These characterize the sporadic motion of time series due to random or change events such as labor disputes, floods, or announced personal changes within companies. Similarity search in time series analysis. Similarity search finds data sequences that differ only slightly from the given query sequence. Two types of similarity searches are as follows: subsequence matching, whole sequence matching. Similarity search in time series analysis is useful for financial market analysis, for example, stock data analysis for financial market analysis, medical diagnosis, cardiogram analysis is the example for medical diagnosis, and scientific or engineering databases. Example for scientific or engineering databases, power consumption analysis is the example for scientific or engineering databases. Data reduction on transformation techniques. Data reduction serves as the first step in time series analysis. Data reduction leads to not only much smaller storage space but also much faster processing. Major strategies for data reduction includes the following things: attribute subset selection, dimensionality reduction, numerosity reduction. What is attribute subset selection? Which removes irrelevant or redundant attributes is called attribute subset selection. So what is dimensionality reduction? So which typically employs signal processing techniques to obtain reduced version of the original data is said to be dimensionality reduction. What is numerosity reduction? Where data are replaced or estimated by alternative smaller representations such as histograms, clustering, and sampling. Several dimensionality reduction techniques can be used in time series analysis. Discrete Fourier transformation, DFT, discrete wavelet transformations, DWT, singular value decomposition, SVD. Query language for time sequences. Time sequence query language should be able to specify not only simple similarity queries like find all of the sequences similar to a given subsequence Q, but also sophisticated queries like find all of the sequences that are similar to some sequence in class C1 but not similar to any sequence in class C2. Yes, the interesting kind of time sequence querying language is a shape definition language. Okay, this is the today's session. My dear students, if you have any questions, please raise the questions at discussion sessions. Okay, thank you.